As I look back on leadership, it is first a relational exercise. It is not administrative. It is a relational thing of knowing your people, and most importantly as well, that they know you. And I use a lot of case studies of men and women who actually did it, because law enforcement doesn't have a good leadership legacy. So when somebody does it right, and I always capture those as much as I can, either in book and or in the presentations. And one of my favorite ones was a chief came in from another agency, a very large agency, and he came into an agency that had 800 plus people that he did not know. So he's coming from outside. He is about to take over an agency that has over 800 people, and he knows no one there. And he brought in his first day an aquarium, and in the aquarium he had taken organizational charts, and cut out everybody's name in these little slivers of paper and thrown them into this empty aquarium. So he had over 800 names in a aquarium, and he put it on his credenza in his office, and 4 per week he would pull them out of the aquarium. So he would do a lottery, basically. He would run his hand through it, pull out 4 names for that week, and they would be contacted or asked, would you mind coming and talk to me about your career here and help me, now listen to this, help me learn about this agency so that I can do my job. And I need, for instance, if this officer had worked there 12 years, he would say, I need 12 years of wisdom that I don't have. I've been here for 3 days, you've been here for 12 years. So he would do this with 4 employees, support staff, as well as managers. And then he would schedule a time to sit down with them. And most of them, if I'm not mistaken, lasted about 30 to 45 minutes. And he would ask them, what are some good things about working here? What are the assignments you've had? What's been the most rewarding? What was the most problematic because of what was going on there? And after he did those 4, the next week he would draw 4 more names. And think about the intimidation of being called in to talk to the chief. And when they would ask logically, why do you want to talk to me? He would go over, I took everybody's name and threw it in a thing, and you happen to be one of 4 that was chosen. It wasn't because there were problems or anything, or they were the best officer in the department. No, it was a random selection. And if you think about the numbers, that's 4 people a week he brought in his office and sat down with them in a very informal setting with these young men and women. I need your help. Tell me how I can do my job here by sharing your experiences, your observations, what's the best part of working here, what needs to be improved here, because all of my experience was with another agency, and I need your help to help me identify what's working well, what needs some help, and to give me that information. And so he was doing 4 a week, 200 a year. And in 4 years, he basically talked to every man and woman in the department, operationally, support people, as well as sworn people, all the managers. And he basically built a relationship with everybody in the department. By the way, I want to mention, why was he good at this? Why was he able to pull this off? Not because of the structure he had, even though that was very important to have that type of plan to do it. He was a good person. And everybody quickly saw that he was a humble person who genuinely wanted their help. And the word spread very quickly by the first people he talked to over that first 6 months or a year, that don't be afraid to go in there. He's a good person. And he was able to not only gather information, but in the process of that, get to know these men and women, not as somebody on an org chart, but as breathing people who have problems, who have a mother with cancer and other things, and they trusted him. And very importantly, he trusted them as well. So it built a tremendous amount of relational power between all the employees and the person who was in the official chief's position, but was not seen that way, but was seen as one of them because he cared enough about them to sit down with them and ask them for help. And I think it's one of the most powerful messages about communication and time with your people, going back to the mission and everything else. And of all the leaders I've come across in all of these decades, I think he was one of the top 5, simply from his plan as well as his character and relational power with people. And he did an amazing job at that agency and impacted it for years after he left because of what he modeled for them about what a leader is.